chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Houston Texans and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Foles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
I hope you got your left because I'm about to take you to school.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Bravo.
Here's Foles. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
You're set. 19. 53. Mike. Check. Play alert. At 24. Check.
Here is Eckler. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On second down, Eckler. He's going to have the first down past the 20 as he'll take this up to the 22-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. Running on first down, Eckler. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check 26, check 26.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll try the air now with Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Here's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
48 points down, he's coming. Watch the slant. Watch him. 48, Mike, 48. Let's go, D. Big series right here.
Throwing again is Watson. And this is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic. You ain't doing nothing, though. You ain't doing nothing.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He'll field this at the 5. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Foles. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Let's go. Hey, Orbit. Check 55, Mike.
Foles. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Going on the ground with Eckler. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Fells has it, left side. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Hey, here we go. I got you.
You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Myles Jack there to make the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Pick me up. Here we go. Down, coming. Check 4.
A give. Eckler running to the right. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the 2nd quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
I'm coming after you.
He'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Lee. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
11 yards on the play.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
48 for Mike.
Out of the gun, Watson. Steps away to his left. Got some room at the 30. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Draw play, it's Eckler. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
19. 19.
Check 48 to Mike. Check 48 to Mike.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 23 yards the pickup there.
And the Texans first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Watson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. 1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Once more, here's Eckler. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. It's Eckler again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. He'll get this to Eckler. They'll give him a yard on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
Motion. Hey, check motion, man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on him. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Hustle. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 47's the mic.
Now Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
What is that? 19. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 36.
Now a toss play to Eckler. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 44.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run here with Eckler. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson, and that is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Hey, Charlie!
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Now Watson going to sneak it, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check 49, check 49. Watch the safety creep. Watch the eye. Check.
Now Eckler. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Watson now to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. On the ground, it's Eckler. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A handoff, it's Eckler. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the give, this is Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on